Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. During today's session, we will show you the value of Google Workspace and hopefully inspire you to use it in your day-to-day work. I'm Grace Hutchison, and I'm joined by my fellow customer engineers, Gabriel Ruiz and Ella Ackel. We work with organizations like yourself every day to help them modernize their workplace, and we're excited to walk you through the Google Workspace platform. Here is a quick overview of our agenda for today. We're going to start with an introduction to the Google Workspace platform. During this section, we'll be highlighting how we've integrated powerful AI capabilities directly into the tools you use every day to help you work faster and smarter. From there, we'll then move into the security and the admin console to show you how we protect your cloud-native zero-trust architecture. Throughout the entire session, we'll be jumping into product demos so you can see both the core platform and those AI features in action. So let's dive in. In recent years, a big focus for organizations around the globe has been the shift from physical office to hybrid work. But over the last couple of years, this focus has shifted more towards artificial intelligence and generative AI. Business leaders across industries are now looking for ways to adopt this technology safely and at scale. For AI to truly be effective, it shouldn't be a separate tool. It should be integrated into the apps you use every day, whether you're a global enterprise or a small local business. This is where Google Workspace truly shines. It's a unified productivity and collaboration suite with powerful AI built directly into its core. We've designed it to be seamless and intuitive technology that stays out of your way while proactively anticipating your needs. By augmenting your existing workflows, Workspace allows you to reclaim your time and focus on work that actually matters. At Google Workspace, we've been responsibly bringing AI to life for over a decade. We've seamlessly integrated AI capabilities throughout our products, from blocking more than 99.9% of spam and phishing in Gmail, to grammar suggestions in Docs, noise cancellation in Meet, formulas suggestions in Sheets, and so much more. Of course, Gemini's generative AI capabilities take this to a whole nother level by working with you throughout the Workspace suite, allowing your organization to move faster and adopt AI with peace of mind. So with this in mind, let's have a look at what tools and products are a part of Google Workspace. I know that Gmail is often the first thing that comes to mind when talking about Google Workspace, but it is so much more than this. I like to think about it in three categories: connect, create and collaborate, and control and manage. The first part allows you and your teammates to connect wherever you are, no matter the device you're using. Here we're talking about products such as Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Meet, or Google Drive. The second category is the applications that allow for teams to create and collaborate in real time or asynchronously. This includes not only Docs, Sheets, or Slides, but also more advanced offerings such as AppSheet, our no-code application designer. The third is our control and manage category. Those offerings are really focused on ensuring that our organization's data, users, and environment are easy to manage and everything is secure. Lastly, Google Workspace with Gemini provides AI capabilities across all three categories. When we say Google Workspace is architected differently, we're not just talking about a prettier UI. We're talking about a fundamental shift away from legacy way of working that saves you from legacy headaches. First, we use our zero-trust security model. This means your team stays secure from any device or location without the headache of a VPN. Also, we're web native. There's no desktop software to patch or version bloat. It's one source of truth for everyone, every time. And all of this is sitting on top of Google's global infrastructure. You get the same scale, sovereignty controls, and 99.9% uptime that powers Google search. The bottom line is you get better security with less to manage. It's built for the way work happens now, not 20 years ago. This foundation doesn't just make things more secure for IT, it fundamentally changes the way people work. Studies have shown that Workspace users are proven to be happier and more innovative. Because our platform is collaborative by design, 75% of users report their teams are more innovative. Choosing Workspace is also a bet on your future talent. We're the leader in education with over 140 million students and teachers using our tools today. This shows in the emerging workforce where 86% of recent college graduates actually prefer using Google Docs. These are just a few of the reasons why over 11 million businesses have chosen Google Workspace as their partner in digital transformation and are now relying on us to help them navigate this world of constant change. We're really proud of the breadth and depth of organizations that run their businesses on Google Cloud. Established market leaders like Verizon, Airbus, and digital natives like Netflix, who have scaled and innovated together with us. From what we've seen so far, Google Workspace is about more than just apps. It's about empowering the future of work by putting AI at your fingertips, enabling seamless collaboration, and accelerating innovation, all on a secure, enterprise-grade foundation. But the best way to understand this impact isn't just to hear about it, it's to see it in action. So let's jump into a quick demo. I'm gonna walk you through a few common daily tasks to show you exactly how intuitive and powerful these features are when they're working together. Here we are within Gmail. Now, I'm sure most of you are already familiar with Gmail and might have it on your own personal account now. Within Gmail, not only do we have our mail, we also have our chat in Google Meet. Now, each user has the ability to open this up in a new tab if they want to make it separate, or in this case, we have it all combined in one area so we don't have to move tabs. So let's go ahead and jump into chat to see what we've missed. So within our space here, which is going to be a group chat space that can have up to 500,000 users at one time, here we can see that Max is giving us a reminder that he's added his final comments and we need to go ahead and make any edits before our client call next week on Monday. Just to let him know that I've seen this, I'm going to go ahead and give him a thumbs up just so that he knows I'm all set to go. Directly from Google Chat, we also have most of our applications integrated in. For example, if I click on this document here and I just want to understand what is in it, here I can quickly see and read that document. Now, before we actually start getting into that document, I do want to go ahead and set up some time with Max just to make sure that I'm all set to go before our client call next week. So let's go ahead and jump into Calendar and then we'll finish off in Docs. Within Google Calendar, this might also look familiar to those who have a personal Gmail account. Of course, we have quite a few added benefits that can really help you be your most productive within Google Workspace. First, I'm going to go ahead and search for Max in our Meet With section just to understand what his availability is and make sure that I create a call that works for him today. Let's go ahead and search for Max here and select him. Now we can see that he's highlighted in this orange color, and anything that's orange in our calendar, we're going to be able to see that that's where he is busy. Now anything in the blue is going to be our calendar here, so we can quickly understand when he is available. One of our newest features, and one of my favorites, is also our suggested times feature running on Gemini. So if I click on the suggested times button, Gemini will automatically show me places that I can go ahead and schedule time with Max that works for everyone. Additionally, the more people I add into this section, Gemini will also point out areas where maybe some folks can join, but not everyone can. You can see that Max is available from 12 to 1, so let's go ahead and choose that. Once I hit save, it'll automatically send this out to Max, and now we're all set to go in just a few minutes to talk with Max. Before we jump into that call, let's go ahead and look at the final edits in our doc, and then we'll be done. Moving into the project document, here we can see that Max has given us a reminder that we need to go ahead and add in the author's name, Ruth. Now, directly in here, we can go ahead and click on that comment and understand what he's actually talking about. Directly here, he's highlighted that author section so that we know we need to go ahead and add in Ruth's name. Now, as a part of Google Docs, we have a great feature called Smart Chips. This allows us to add in dynamic text directly into the doc to help us organize better. So let's go ahead and type in the @ symbol, and this will allow us to search through all those smart chips. For example, we can search through people in our organization, we have dates, drop downs, as well as some super helpful building blocks to help us start meeting notes or an email draft. Let's go ahead and just search for Ruth in here. Once we click on Ruth, then we can see that this dynamic smart chip shows up, and if we highlight her name, we'll be able to see all her contact information so that anybody at the organization can quickly reach out to Ruth if they have a question. All right, so now we're all set to go directly for the meeting with Max. Let's jump back into Calendar and let's join that meeting. Now that we've seen a glimpse of the productivity gains we can achieve with Google Workspace, let's explore how we can take it to the next level with Gemini. Gabriel, over to you.
Thanks, Grace. Hello, everyone. I'm Gabriel Ruiz, and as Grace showed, Google Workspace has always been about real-time collaboration between people. Now, we're extending that to include collaboration with AI through Gemini. It acts as your coach and productivity booster while ensuring you always keep full control of your data. It helps users with a variety of tasks, including writing, creating images, organizing data, and connecting more meaningfully. And crucially, it ensures that users and organizations maintain control over their data. That is key for today's era. Now, you may ask, when does Gemini add value? Gemini makes a huge difference at work. Companies and leadership who will consider generative AI soon will not struggle later, and they will be also more efficient. There are tons of ways Gemini can be used across the company, as you can see on the slide. It can help sales and hiring managers and marketing in different tasks. For example, instead of spending a lot of time creating specialized marketing campaigns, you can use Gemini to help you generate a campaign by just providing a few sentences as part of your prompt. Also, Gemini can help CTOs and senior IT leaders in strategic decision making by, for example, summarizing complex reports that could be hundreds of pages long in multiple files. In short, imagine the amount of time that could be saved. Instead of reading a lot of documents and reports to make a decision, you can summarize it by one click and make the decision-making process easier. Now, let's explore some features of Gemini that can enhance your Google Workspace experience. The first part of Google Workspace with Gemini Suite is Gemini Advanced, which is a standalone experience. You can chat with Gemini to brainstorm effectively, refine ideas, and discover new perspectives to enhance your work. It also enables you to quickly find and summarize web-based information, helping you make informed decisions. Content and insights generated can be easily integrated into Workspace apps like Google Docs or Gmail. Importantly, Google guarantees that your data is not used for advertising or for training its AI models. That is important to remember. Now, you may ask, what makes Gemini Advanced different? For that, let's talk about Gemini Gems, a feature that truly sets the Gemini app apart. Gemini Gems are a customized version of the Gemini app that you can create to address your unique requirements. Just imagine having a coding partner, a spreadsheet wizard, a statistics guru, or a grammar tutor at your fingertips. With Gemini Gems, you can bring these AI experts to life. Setting up a gem is incredibly easy. Simply describe what you want your gem to do and how you want it to respond. Gemini will then take your instructions and, with a single click, create a gem that perfectly aligns with your needs. Great. Now, let's take a look at how you can put these Gemini gems to work. First up, we got pre-made gems. Think of these as your ready-to-go options, perfect when you need a quick solution. But here is the cool part. You can also customize these pre-made gems to fit your needs even better. Simply open the pre-made gem and edit its instructions however you see fit. And for those who want full control, you can create your very own gems from the ground up. Briefly explain what you want your gem to accomplish and let Gemini polish your prompt. In just a few moments, your personalized AI assistant is ready to tackle your unique tasks. Now, let's move to Google Docs. In Google Docs, you can consider Gemini as your writing coach. You can turn your notes into a complete essay in just seconds. Also, you can highlight some sentences and ask Gemini to summarize, elaborate, or even change the tone to casual or formal. In the example we see here, we asked Gemini to write a post for a sales rep job. And it is not only writing the post, but also adding variables for the company name and locations. This allows you to easily customize the post, resulting in significant time savings. And speaking of savings, what about those on the go? Our first steps with an AI collaborator in Workspace were with the Help Me Write feature in Gmail. The magic of Gemini will also be available in Gmail on mobile. So if you are on the go, they can simply type what they need, like, ask for a refund since my flight was delayed for 6 hours. and Gemini will automatically draft a full email just for you. Now, let's move to slides. We have also embedded the power of Gemini more deeply into experiences across Workspace. For example, in the slides, you can now easily create and edit original images from text descriptions using our new Nano Banana model. Unlike traditional models, Nano Banana allows you to edit photos via text with very high consistency, meaning you can preserve the identity of characters and objects across multiple generations. This makes Google Workspace a true creative partner, delivering original visuals that really wow your audience while maintaining a professional and consistent brand look. In Sheets, we are applying Gemini into our new Help Me Organize capability. Users can simply describe what they're trying to accomplish, and Gemini will generate a custom template that allows them to get started immediately. But we're taking it even further by bringing AI directly into the cells of your spreadsheet with the new AI function. By using the AI formula, you can now generate text tailored to your data, summarize complex information, and categorize data into meaningful groups, such as performing sentiment analysis on customer feedback. This allows you to create hundreds of rows of data quickly, all without needing to be an expert in data or spreadsheets. Moving on, for those global teams out there, Gemini enhances global team connectivity by removing communication and documentation obstacles. Real-time translated captions enable seamless collaboration across different languages, ensuring everyone is understood. Additionally, the Take Notes for Me feature automatically records key takeaways and actions into a Google Doc. This allows participants to stay fully engaged in discussions without the distraction of manual note-taking. What do you think about that? Some of you might wonder, can AI help me keep my data secure? We are actually using the power of large language models to enhance data security through AI classification, which analyzes documents to evaluate the actual content of your files, rather than just searching for simple keywords to find sensitive data. This feature automatically labels personal, financial, or confidential files and assess risk, helping you prioritize security measures effectively. By automating labels across Google Drive, you can save time while ensuring consistent protection and streamlined data management throughout Google Workspace. Now, let's bring everything together. The Gemini side panel serves as the ultimate productivity hub, integrating directly into your workspace. It allows you to analyze complex data, generate new content, and reference your existing documents, all within a single app. Now, let's have a look at some of these features in action. Assume I'm a marketer for a fake company called Cespar. And like most of you, my days starts with a flooded inbox. I could spend 20 minutes just figuring out what's urgent, but instead, I use my marketing campaign architect. In the past, I used to bring all my due dates and requests directly from my email to a Gemini app instance. But now, I build this gem to act as an email filter that finds only the marketing-specific requests I have pending. All I have to do is greet it, and in less than a minute, notice how it tells me it processed 10 unread emails and identified the Cespar launch as my priority. Thanks to the ability of training the gem using instructions, it knows I will always need a marketer analysis and video script when starting a new project. This time, I will just give it the green light. This gem by default follows my instructions, but it also knows it can add steps it thinks will help, if I allow it, of course. Now that I have my strategy and script, I'm ready to visualize it. I'll jump into Google Sheets and just tag the Google Doc where I added all the information my gem provided in the previous step. Right now, Google Sheets is doing the heavy lift here. choosing background music, transitions, and a color palette that matches our vibrant brand theme. Now that the initial draft is done, I want to add my personal touch. I was thinking of including an introductory scene for which I know I will need to read my script. In the past, I would need a separate tool to do this, but with Google Bits, I can record my narration right here. See the teleprompter? It lets me read my script while ensuring I'm looking at the camera and sounding natural. Once recorded, I don't need an editor. I can remove filler words and long pauses with a single click, making the video company ready instantly. Fast forward 2 months, the campaign is live and we collected metrics on performance and competitor response. Usually these take days to analyze and summarize. Today I have uploaded the video and our data reports to Notebook-LM to speed things up. Within Notebook-LM, I can convert our lessons learned into a brief document, a slide deck, and even an infographic for the executive team. With a simple prompt, the LLM found that the functional ingredients message failed because of technical jargon, causing a drop in viewer engagement. With this type of tools, we are turning raw data into best practices in seconds. And there you have it. We just look at how Gemini orchestrates your day, from the first email in Gmail to a finished video in Bits and a strategic insights in Notebook-LM. These features are included in most Google Workspace licenses today. Now, I'll pass it over to Ella.
Thank you, Gabriel. Hi, everyone. My name is Ella Ackel. You just heard about the incredible innovation we're bringing with AI. But as we all know, innovation requires a secure foundation. So let's talk about Google Workspace security. We're going to discuss how our cloud-native architecture doesn't just enable collaboration. It actively protects your users from threats, secures your data against loss, and simplifies your path to regulatory compliance. This shift to hybrid work is a once-in-a-generation change. While this flexibility is amazing for your employees, it breaks the traditional security model. The simple truth is that we can no longer rely on office walls to protect our data. We need a new approach that works wherever your users are. This new approach is built on 3 core pillars, which we're going to unpack in detail over the next few slides. First, we'll look at how we can leverage AI to prevent threats before they emerge, stopping attacks before they ever reach your users. Second, we'll discuss how we can enable safer work from anywhere, ensuring that only the right people on the right devices can access your data. And finally, we'll cover how we can help you stay compliant and maintain sovereignty, giving you ultimate control over your information. Let's get started with that first pillar, which is threat prevention. Google Workspace is designed to block the vast majority of attacks before they prevent teams from working safely. Google's AI-powered defenses are informed by threat signals from billions of endpoints and decades of deep security expertise. While many of these protections happen automatically, we also provide a unified security center to give your IT and security teams full visibility and control. From this single dashboard, specialists can monitor insightful reports, get alerted on potential risks, and use investigation tools to triage and respond to issues faster. It even recommends configuration changes based on industry best practices to ensure your domain stays secure. For organizations already using an SIEM solution like Chronicle, this data can be seamlessly exported to support your broader security investigations. Our infrastructure is always up to date and never relies on a single technology for safety. We build security in progressive layers to deliver true defense in depth. This ensures comprehensive protection across the board, securing data storage, service deployment, internal communication, and daily operations. Google Workspace is built for the hybrid world, allowing your teams to collaborate securely from any device, anywhere. We protect this access with zero trust controls, ensuring that only the right people under the right circumstances can access your company's data. Finally, we help your users stay secure by design, using intuitive prompts that guide them to make smart decisions when sharing information. Google Workspace simplifies endpoint management by securing company data on virtually any device, including iOS, Windows, Chrome OS, and Android. This flexibility supports various device strategies, from bring your own device to corporate issued or even third-party managed fleets. And because the data lives in the cloud rather than on the endpoint, your IT team can protect company data and manage all devices from a single centralized location with significantly less effort. In addition to securing endpoints, you can also enforce granular access to your data based on a zero trust approach. This means we don't just trust a user because they have the correct password. We analyze the full context of their request to ensure it's legitimate. For example, imagine an employee who normally logs in from your London office using a corporate laptop. If their credentials are suddenly used to access sensitive financial data from a personal tablet in a different country at 3 a.m., Context-Aware Access sees this as a high-risk anomaly. By analyzing signals like location, device trust, and time, the system can automatically block that attempt, keeping your data safe even if your user's password was compromised. Because your data lives in the cloud rather than on individual devices, it's far easier to keep it out of the wrong hands. Our data loss prevention capabilities act as a safety net, automatically stopping sensitive information like credit card numbers, social security numbers, from ever leaving your organization. Whether it's in Drive or Gmail, your teams can manage access with precision. And in Google Chat, data loss prevention works in real time, instantly flagging sensitive data to prevent accidental leaks before they even happen. Navigating the ever-changing landscape of global regulations can both be costly and complex. Google Workspace's cloud-native architecture is built to simplify this by reducing the manual effort required to stay compliant. We provide the tools you need to gain total visibility into how your data is accessed, ensure no third parties can view your sensitive information, and ultimately meet your most rigorous regulatory requirements without the overhead of legacy systems. With assured controls, we're giving you visibility and control over how your cloud provider interacts with your data. This suite of tools ensures that Google operates exactly according to your requirements. For instance, Access Approvals ensures a Googler can only access your data if you explicitly authorize it first. Access Management allows you to restrict that support to US-based employees only. And finally, Access Transparency gives you a complete audit log, so you always know exactly when and why your data was accessed to serve a support request. For your most sensitive information, we offer the highest level of data sovereignty with client-side encryption. Think of this as having a private vault where you only hold the key. Because your data is encrypted locally on your device before it ever reaches a Google server, it becomes completely indecipherable to everyone else, including Google and foreign governments. You maintain absolute authority over your data by choosing your own external key management service and identity provider. Finally, we help you eliminate the risk and complexity of non-compliance. Google Workspace is certified to meet the most rigorous standards in the world, including FedRAMP High, HIPAA, and ITAR. Because we've already done the heavy lifting to achieve these global certifications, your organization can save significant time and effort. Instead of managing multiple fragmented systems to stay compliant, you can meet your most demanding regulatory requirements from a single unified cloud. Now, let's see some of these features in action.
Gabriel just showed us how fast we can move with Gemini, but speed shouldn't create risk. Here's that Zestbar campaign brief we just created.
Zestbar, cold-pressed, reinvented.
Let's say I'm a marketing user working on this project, and I want to share this with a potential partner agency. I'll click the share button and try to give them access. Immediately, data loss prevention steps in to block this confidential data from being shared externally. It recognized the keyword zest bar in the video and blocked the sharing of this file, helping me stay compliant and protect my organization's sensitive data. Let me show you how this is set up from the admin perspective. I'm in my admin console, and I've navigated to the security section, access and data control, and then data protection. You can see here we have a data loss prevention rule called zest bar, and this protects the data related to this project. At the top, I've selected my applications where this data lives that I want to protect. In this case, I've selected Google Drive. We also have the option for Gmail and for Google Chat. Then I've selected the action that I want to occur if the data is found. In this case, I've determined that I want to block external sharing. Then we define our scope. Who do we want this rule to apply to? I've selected my top-level organizational unit because I want this rule to apply to everyone in my entire account. Lastly, what is the data that I want to protect? Now, in this case, I want to protect the word zest bar and all of the data related to this content. Now let's switch hats. As the security admin, I need to know what's happening with this high-profile launch. I can stay in the security section, but now go to the security center and click into the investigation tool. I can search through Drive log events and add filters for high-risk actions on the zest bar project. Right here, I can see a list of all the activity. If I scroll to the right, I see a download event. Someone pulled a local copy of the campaign brief, and since this should stay in the browser, I can select and take action, such as disabling download, print, and copy. This will apply to all users immediately to prevent any further data exfiltration. Finally, we don't want to just stop sharing. Sometimes we want to stop access entirely if the conditions aren't right. This is a context-aware access rule. For the zest bar launch, we've set some policies that say you can only open these files if you are on a recognized admin-approved device, and our company policy says you must be located within the United States. If I tried to log in from a personal laptop in a different country to see those zest bar files, I wouldn't have access. These are all examples of how we enable secure work from anywhere.
We've covered a lot of ground today, and to help you with those next steps, you should see a pop-up on your screen right now. If you'd like to speak with someone directly about beginning your journey, please select that option. For more ways to keep moving forward, we've provided 2 paths for continued learning on this slide. If you're ready to get into the product yourself, scan the QR code on the left. This will take you to Google Cloud Skills Boost, where you can level up your skills through interactive labs and specialized courses. For those who want to dive deeper into our advanced AI capabilities, scan the QR code on the right for our Gemini Enterprise webinar. This is a great resource if you're interested in learning how Gemini can integrate with your third-party data to provide cross-platform insights for your organization. Finally, don't worry about capturing every detail from today. We will be sharing the full recording shortly so that you can review them at your own pace. And with that, we can't wait to see how you use Google Workspace to transform the way your teams work. Thank you all for joining us today.